Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today we're going to present about the presentation of the correlation between duration of gas emission exposure and the dry air syndrome deaths on taxi bike drivers in central Jakarta. Well, the death is a multifactorial disease of the ocular surface characterized by the loss of tear film hemostasis and accompanied by ocular symptoms. Urban air pollution, Jakarta particulate matter PM 2.5 was recorded at 25.4, higher above the warehouse standard. The transport sector is a major source of pollution in urban areas. Motorized vehicle emission contributes 70% pollution of urban areas. The city of Jakarta by taxi drivers as one of the modes of transportation that are in great demand by the public. Jobs that require to always be on the road can certainly pose a risk to experience this. Severe ocular symptoms are associated with several socioeconomic implications, such as increased healthcare costs and reduced quality of life. There are causes of dry eye, which is decreased steel production, increased evaporation, environmental condition, drugs or surgery. In here, we're going to discuss about the environmental condition. So that is more common. This is more common in women than men, increases with age. The prevalence of this in Southeast Asia is around 20 to 52.4%. Indonesia prevalence is 27.5% and more common in Asian population. The aim of the study is to identify the relationship between the length of exposure to gas emissions and the severity of the dry syndrome in taxi bike drivers in Jakarta. Our design of the research is observational analytic with cross-sectional and located in Central Jakarta. And as you can see in the screen, the sub-districts of Central Jakarta. The samples are taxi bike drivers, which is random sampling. We divided into three groups: Group A less than 6 hours a day, Group B 6 to 12 hours a day, Group C more than 12 hours a day. The criteria inclusion are work in Central Jakarta, already working more than 6 months, male, not eye disease diagnosed and willing to participate. And the exclusion where contact lenses, have history eye surgery, trauma or accident, taking drugs, eye disease diagnosed, have more than one company. So from the result, we can see that affected drivers total 196 with 128 experienced deaths and 68 normal. The death degree based on OSD questionnaire is we got the 34.7% normal, 52% mild, 9.2% moderate, and 4.1% severe. And the correlation between exposure time and OSD criteria result in the group A, less than 6 hours, we got the 32 drivers or 47.1%. The group B spent 9 to 12 hours, have a higher percentage of developing mild deaths, 68 drivers, 66.7%. And group C, who spent more than 6 hours a day, have higher of developing severe or death 5 drivers, 62.5%. The discussion is from LATKP to 2016. The most significant and dangerous pollutants are CO, NO2, O3, SO2, PM 2.5, and PM10. And by Zone GY 2018, the CO and O2 and air temperature have a relationship with the incidence of deaths due to they together is the result of from the vehicle gas emission. Still with Zone GY 2018, the death occurrence appears to be more common in Asians than other races. By Mandel ZT 2020, environmental factors, the most impacted deaths were wind, sunlight, and heat, affecting 71%, 60%, and 41% of respondents respectively. And the next discussion is with the relationship, the research with Camelisa and Linda. They find the relationship between gas emission exposure to incidence of death, with Camelisa in bike taxi drivers in Malang, while Erlinda in pedicab drivers by Chak and Sumanap found that there's indeed a relationship between the two. And next is Yolanda in 2019. She found that there is a difference in death severity between the work experience of traffic police officers, less than 5 years, 5 to 10 years, and more than 10 years. And I think we found a similar result here. We found the relationship between the duration of work by taxi drivers with less than 6 hours, 6 to 12 hours, and more than 12 hours with the increased severity of the test. Their conclusions are one of the risk factors is the environment, dusty, windy, hot, and dry, while bike taxi drivers tend to deal with every day in polluted air of central Jakarta. And the next is there's a relationship between exposure to air pollution and the incidence of the dry eye syndrome. And the last is educate drivers to use the eye protection while driving enough rest for company to be able to provide protective equipment and provide counseling and rest time for their workers. Thank you.